Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery, and with the help of my spirit guides, it's time to trust your intuition. Sit with me and call in live 888-994-4995 Studio A. And now onto the show.
Afternoon, everybody. It's Monday, 2:30, and it's my show, and we're going to have a very, very interesting show today. But thank you guys once again for tuning in every week. I really appreciate my audience. I can't see you, but you can see me, and the appreciation's there. Okay, Dawn, I'm going to ask you to introduce, because I do go into a semi-trance, and it takes a second.
Before Sally gets into her semi-trance,
I guess it's a semi-trance.
we're here on Call Me Zena for any information, for questions, to write in, to call. Phone number is 888-994-4995, Studio A. Or you can write in to Call Me Zena, ask Sally Barnard a question. You can also find her on YouTube, where the videos stay and they don't come down after 30 days. So check that out, or message Sally on all socials. But today, she's got a very exciting show. She has Dana Sardano of the Ubuntu Room joining her to, I guess, ask questions and really elevate Sally's calling of where she's going, who she's talking to, maybe some of the guides that are going to come through. So Dana and Sally, welcome.
Hey.
All right, Sally, where do you want to start? You want to start with Dana asking you a question?
Absolutely, because I've always said I'm only as good as the question that's asked of.
So I just have to say, before we get into this connection between me and Sally came from her understanding of my interactions with other trans channels or other channels. Mm-hmm. And I am just so taken and curious by what you do. So if you're okay, I want to ask you questions about your process before we go any further.
No, that's fine, Dana. We had a few minutes to talk before the show, and I'm absolutely okay with whatever you're going to ask me. So if you feel that you want to take it that route, we'll go that way.
Yeah.
Again, I'm only as good as the question that you
gotcha.
ask me, and I know that you're going to ask me some amazing questions.
So a lot of people think like a channel is somebody, or people who channel, it's outside of them. And I'm of the belief that we all are channels, but whether or not we are able to receive and decode the information is up to us. Mm-hmm. So I know enough about you to know that you've been magical, for lack of a better word, your whole life. But what are your strengths? Do you see visions? Are you visual? Do you feel it physically? Do you hear it?
And that's a good question, because it makes me go inward. I feel that I am reaching the next level of where I'm going. I channel, I hear. I occasionally see, or I feel vibrational energy. That's basically where I'm coming from. So a lot of the questions that are asked of me, I know I don't hesitate with the answers. If it was me just answering on my own, there would be a slight hesitation. But immediately my guides will come to me. And I say my guides, and that could be quite a few people. I'm with a collective. But my main one, like the overseer, as you've asked me, that is Aldo. And anybody, and a lot of people listening have been listening to my show now for many, 3 years I've been on the air doing this, is Aldo oversees them, who was my guide in physicality here. I know you know a little of my story. So I've been able to answer many questions. I don't actually always see the person, but I hear. It's telepathy, which is quite well known today.
So you hear in words?
I hear, well, it's a vibrational energy. So, and it's good you're making me actually look at that, because I just do it automatically. But it's a hearing within my head.
So it's a thought, but
thought.
You know it's
exactly
been given to you as opposed to produced by you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So that's why I don't worry about what questions I'm going to be asked, because I'm very confident with the fact that they're going to be able to answer the questions for me. So.
And you say that Aldo is your gatekeeper, so to speak, and I can relate to that as well, because again, just referring to my friend Anne Marie, she channels through the angelics, and she knows nothing that is unsavory, for lack of a better way of saying it, is going to come through, because she's being protected by that higher vibratory energy.
I relate to that too, because I believe, if you're fearful of something, you're bringing in that energy of fear. So I'm pretty content with the fact that whatever you ask me, I'm
Yeah.
going to get the accurate answer
Yes.
from them with no imposters, so to speak, because there are imposters.
Yes.
So I feel very protected. I mean, I don't do all maybe the things that people do but I'm very aware of the fact that I'm being protected.
I love that you said that, because first of all, your confidence in that you're being protected, again, your belief shapes your reality,
Right.
will create that high vibratory protection.
Exactly,
Right?
yes.
And you said you don't normally do all the things that
No, and
I
I'm not
know what you're
critici-
talking about.
I'm honestly not criticizing anybody
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
all do what we need to do.
Yeah.
But
gotta
I
do
have,
what's right
sometimes
by
I have a
you.
little candle here because I do like sometimes to. But we have this,
Yep.
which you so
Little
nicely
selenite.
brought. And yes, yeah. So we're fine.
So okay, so Aldo is the gatekeeper. If I know that when I ask questions, the information just comes to you, but can I ask you to try something to do a little bit differently?
I'm game.
Okay. Take a breath. Can I ask you to close your eyes?
Okay, I
You
can
good?
do. Yep. If I actually, having said that, if I am going deeper,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you've seen me do that occasionally, Dawn, I will close my eyes because if I get the feeling that I need to close my
Yeah.
eyes, that means I'm going one step higher in vibrational energy than what I usually do. So yeah, I'm okay with that
Okay.
too.
So take a breath.
Okay.
Now, I want to speak to Aldo directly. Aldo, I understand that you're the gatekeeper. Can you bring forth other energies for us?
Absolutely. He's telling me that's what he does all the time.
So Aldo, I was wondering if I could.
I am going to open my eyes a little because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
able to
fine.
do
That's
that.
fine. I just wanted to get you to that space. So there has been some talk about some energies that have been coming in, extraterrestrial energies.
Okay.
As well as a Christ consciousness coming in. I've also had experiences with being an assist. I'm going to keep it vague. Being an assist with bringing higher vibratory energies like Elfkin and fairy energies and Egyptian energies, and bringing them in because these are the higher vibratory
Right.
energies coming in. So my question to you is, the extraterrestrial energies, are they here to assist us?
Yes, 100% with what I'm hearing. Now there are exceptions to the rule, so to speak, but I would say the majority of the ones that are assisting, that are coming in, are here for the good. There are others which we know about too that work on the other side, so to speak, that they can kind of make their way through. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's why it's so important to be positive, because that positivity will show when they come in. The ones that we may not want to associate, let's say, with the energy that we're on, if we bring in that positivity, which is so important, it's not going to not keep them away necessarily, but they won't be able to do what they're meant to be doing.
Would you say it has everything to do with alignment?
It's to do with alignment, because if your alignment is going to the vibration that we're on. So if you're on that higher vibration, but it's not only them, there are imposters too, which we actually did mention. But the most important thing is when we're doing this, that we all need to understand that higher vibration is so vital to achieve what we want to do on this planet, because that's very much their concern and it's our concern too. So the people that are able to do this have to keep that energy higher. So if anything comes in that's negative, we're lowering that, and that brings in a lot of lower vibrational energy.
But when you say able to do this, you're talking about channeling the energies.
Exactly, yes.
But wouldn't you agree that it's all of us that are channeling energies?
We're all channeling, we just don't know we're doing it.
Yes.
So that's why we can fall down to a lower vibration. What I'm doing, what you're doing, what we're all doing, we're able to do it. We were discussing that earlier too, as long as you believe that you're going to. So in other words, I used to say a lot, fake it till you make it. So even if you don't completely understand it, keep yourself on that higher level, because right now it's really important. We're going for a shift. So many entities are coming into us and they're talking to us, but we don't know it.
So I'm glad you mentioned the shift, because that's the question that I was going to ask. So when we say a shift, would you say that the Earth's vibration is elevating?
Absolutely.
So when the Earth's vibration elevates, what does that mean for people who don't know what's going on?
It's okay, because I was listening to something, and one of the messages that I've got, I always thought that there was two Earths. There was one Earth that was going to go for the people that understand this and are working for, and there is another one. But no, we're all at, well, I'm not saying there isn't, but we're all together in this. But the ones that are understanding on that higher frequency are actually going to be helping the ones that haven't reached that yet. Not everybody, it's not everybody's time, but it's so important to keep this, I keep saying positivity because it's the only way that we can say that, to surround yourself with this. And eventually, not everyone is going to make it in this lifetime that have come here, but the ones that have are really working now to lift Earth with everything, to bring us to that shift. We're going through something that we have not done before, and it's like a test for everybody, including the aliens that are listening. They're listening and watching. They are going to show themselves, but it's going to affect them too, because there's an atmosphere, there's stuff, around that's going on. So it's so important. They're helping us. A lot of people say, I'm scared of them. No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. They're here to help us. We're joining together with them. They're already here, Dana, and we know that too. It's just that we don't know that.
Yeah.
So the more people that can come out with this message, the better, that they are here. They're here to help us. Yes, there's always obviously going to be the darker side. Let's call the darker side. But that's okay. You have to have balance anyway.
You said so many things that I want to. First of all, I was smiling because when you said you once thought it was two Earths, because many of us, when things are starting to shift, we're going back 10 years ago,
right?
Like when it was really, really starting to shift, and we understood, oh, there's two Earths, because you had Dolores Cannon who was talking two Earths.
Yes.
So I remember I was trying to understand what that was as well, but the vibration, the frequency, there's such a disparity. Especially what's going on in the world, it's created such a disparity between the frequencies that there are
not
two
that
words.
I want to interrupt you here, because I love what you're saying, and they do too, but it's the perception, and we were going deep into that. It's the perception of what we perceive at our time, and we're going to perceive where we are.
Yes.
So we both could be looking, that's where the two Earths come in. They're explaining that to me. I can be looking there, and you can be looking there. But we're both, as long as we're seeing the same perception with that understanding that we're having, we're going to see the same thing. But the ones that are not seeing that see it from a different point of view, are going to see something different, and yet it's the same place. It's nothing
100%.
Different than that.
I can just interrupt you for a second. As you were explaining that, and Dana was watching, I was watching your face, Dana, and there was almost like a childlike glee coming upon you. And I was wondering if you can explain what that look was all about.
Oh my goodness, the glee is because, you're sprechen malingity. Like everything that you're saying, I know to be so true. So to hear it come from another person, and I've talked to my husband about this a lot, about how there's different pockets of people in the world that have had awakenings and experiences and understandings together. And then you go on social media and people are saying what they're saying. And it's not because they heard it from somebody else on social media. This person says it, this person says it, and then they're like, oh, you're saying the same thing. So there's a validation to it.
Okay.
So every time I meet somebody who is saying what I'm saying or what I know to be true, the glee is, okay.
And
that's always been very big with Sally, with validation.
Yes,
so,
it's so very important. But obviously with the two of us here, and we're on a very, very similar vibrational energy, these things are going to come up. Whereas somebody that could walk in here that has not heard, let's say not because they're lower or anything, but have never heard any of this before, we're saying the same things, exactly. But they're going to look at that differently. I'm not referring to anyone here because we understand. But let's say someone came in that was their first time in the studio and not heard this conversation, was going to talk about real estate, let's say, and not heard that. They'd be hearing the same thing, and that's a very good way of explaining it. But they're not going to see, it's not even a depth, it's the meaning. Our perception has been raised slightly. Well, not slightly, quite a bit.
Yeah. So just so I want to go back to what you're saying about the them, I call them,
Right,
but the
yes,
extraterrestrials,
yes,
the light beings,
right, which I love.
assisting us.
I love it.
So it's my understanding, and I'd love to hear more about this. It's my understanding that they, as I call them, have been assisting us. Oh my God, from the beginnings of time.
Absolutely.
But now more so than ever. So there's volunteers, soul volunteers of the them, and I say the them. I'm talking about extraterrestrials, right? That have come here to assist. So I'm just going to talk about two different extraterrestrials.
And I love it, by the way. I love this subject.
Good. I didn't think we were going here. I thought we were
Alder,
going in a completely different
absolutely.
direction, but this is
He's
cool.
going, I'm right along
Yeah.
with you, Sally.
Yeah.
That's what Alder is saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So you have your Arcturians are the most common of that are assisting us, and you have the Pleiadians that are there because I believe that they are the most heart-centered / intelligent of the species. They're
closest to us in a lot of different ways.
Closest to us in proximity.
In proximity, but also in
vibration.
mindset. Yeah.
This is so great. Okay, so they are here to assist us energetically, but also souls incarnate. Can you give us a little bit more insight into how do you detect, we measly humans, how do we detect a soul incarnate extraterrestrial?
Well, first of all, you've got to have the perception or the even understanding that someone could be a little bit different.
So you also got to kind of be
they
one
can
to know
walk
one?
amongst us. Yes, to actually recognize doesn't mean they're not here, and they can talk just like we're talking now.
Yeah.
But if your perception or your feeling, it's just a feeling because we're understanding a little bit more, you're going to basically, I'm going to say, recognize them. They walk amongst us. They have been doing this for years and years.
What are some of their traits?
There's no time. Well, there's lots of different ones, Dana. First of all, they'll have the understanding exactly what we're talking about. They'll be at the right place at the right time. There are many synchronicities that go along with that. So it's hard to actually pinpoint a certain feature. Their shape, they can change their appearance because we know that they can do that. There are many characteristics depending where they're from that can do these things, but only someone that's beginning, or even I'm going to say beginning to understand a depth what this is all about will recognize them. Now, if they want to make themselves known to you, they will, but they're not going to do it to someone. Well, they'll do it, but again, little by little. They're not here to scare us. They're here to help us over this particular time on Earth. There is no time, as we know, on the other side, but we've made time here. So they're here to assist us through this shift. And many of us that have incarnated at this, which I know that you know, this particular time on our planet are here just for this reason of what we're going through. This is an amazing time. Yes, it's an amazing time both ways. We have a lot of things going on here that we're saying, you know, the negativity is terrible right now. But you have to go through a lot of this in order to get to the other part, next part
Yeah,
two
it's like birthing a baby.
Exactly.
You know, you're going to have
gotta go
goo
through.
and ows and pains and all sorts of disgustingness.
And
but
that's
then you get a baby.
That's what's happening.
The best.
And I have no idea how long this is going to take. Again, if you're looking at it from a different perspective, there is no time with everything that is happening right now. But you know, it's funny, I can be knocked out of this space in a second. Normally that doesn't happen. It's because I'm so deep right now into what we're saying. So if you could just repeat the question, Dana. What was it?
I was just talking about when you birth the baby.
Oh, yeah. We're going through that shift. And for anybody that has any understanding of this, now is the time. Is the time.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because we're talking about how souls of, again, extraterrestrial origin, which is really just a higher vibratory state.
Yeah, because they're coming from a higher perspective.
And because they're coming to assist from the ground. You got your ground troops, you got your sky troops.
Perfect.
What about the people? What would you say to the people who know they're a little different, know they see the world a little bit differently, but don't understand what their mission and purpose is, don't understand that they're here to assist? Is it synchronicities that they connect with people and then they figure it out? Like, how are they waking up?
Well, they're doing it, again, it's all a gradual process. I think mainly what happens a lot to a lot of people is which happen all the time, we're just not aware of synchronicities. We think it's coincidence. So if people that are watching now, they're saying, but I'm getting a few things, know that it's a journey. So if these little things that may not normally mean that much, but if they keep happening, or you're at the right place again at the right time, you see a license plate or something that has someone's initials, a song comes on the radio. It's these little subtle things that tell you this is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. You can wake up, begin to wake up, but it's a journey. So I believe at this time on the planet right now, many people are experiencing this because they came in. They may not have been aware that that was their mission, but they came in, especially the younger children today, have come in with this mission. Let's basically save our planet. You know, not to scare people, but we don't want to go and mess this up in any way whatsoever. We've got to be here at this time to go to something that is going to be, all I can tell you, is amazing if we do it right.
And would you say that whatever, for those who don't even realize that they are, we'll call them starseeds. But whatever it is that's driving them, and they feel passion for, that they're drawn to, that I would think is the part of, that's the pull to their mission. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And remember, we have helpers. We all have guides.
Yeah.
So be aware of things that, you know, that are happening because we're being helped. It's not just me or you or anyone in the studio here. We all have guides. So if they can accept that they have guides, believe, because that's very important, you will be guided in the right direction. They're watching us. Planets are watching us right now.
They're rooting for us too.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Yeah, we always have the negative part, yes, and we accept that too. But we can, let's say we can overcome that. We can. As a collective, we can.
So, and I'm glad you mentioned that we have to overcome certain things. So again, back to the birthing process and the goo and the dew and all the grossness. We're watching around us. We're watching a serious downfall of the systems, right?
That system,
and these systems, they elicit fear in the people, and then without getting too conspiracy theory.
No, that's okay. We can touch on that for sure.
But there are powers that be that want to continue to instill fear to keep our vibration lower.
Correct.
What would you say to the people that are scared but don't want to be?
Okay, they just say to themselves, fear brings in fear. So that kind of answers a lot of what you just said.
Yeah.
Yes, you can be fearful. Yes, these people exist. That's okay. Accept that. Just don't be fearful, because anything that you're fearful of, anything, is going to come to you. We attract what we're thinking. So that fear will go. It's fear-based. It's fear-based. I'm going to have to look that way because he keeps moving.
Can I share something with you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to look.
Several years ago, when I was going through some sort of shift, I was in my dreams, because that's where it's most powerful. I was getting attacked by an entity. It was like a shadow figure, and it was like holding me down. And I would wake up in a panic, and I would try to wrestle it off me. And this was continuous. And then one time, it happened, and I was learning stuff in my waking life. And I started singing this song by Dana Sardano, I love you, whatever. And when I sang it, it disappeared, and I woke up understanding that it was like a training for me, that in order to combat the fear, I had to meet it with love. And because when I struggled and resisted and met it with fear, it gripped stronger. And I think that there's something important in that 100%. If people understood that everything is an illusion, no, because it's real to us. So I call it illusion. I don't want to sound like a hippie.
No, I use that
It
too.
feels real. Mm-hmm. It feels real. So it's scary. But if people could stay in the mindset of, you're just going to, like you said, I'm just piggybacking what you said. If you have fear and you give it fear, you just create more fear.
Absolutely.
But I was going to say, if you maintain a loving state, the fear evaporates.
Whatever we're thinking, we actually can manifest. We were discussing that too, in our own little environment. So if you're constantly in fear of even the conspiracy theories, and you tune into that, yeah, it's good, just like the news, to listen to a little bit to know what's going on.
Awareness,
and I'm totally for that for myself.
Yeah.
But not fixate on it. Once you start fixating in it, you're going to start bringing in all that they want to bring in. But
Yeah.
if you say no, I want to know what I'm up against, because it's good to know what you're up against. If you don't know what to protect yourself from. So once you get that understanding, if you continue, anybody, especially now, because there's all sorts of people, of things, places that they're trying to do, because we're changing. We're going to change the currency. We're going to
Yep.
be changing a tremendous amount
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, food growth.
Yep.
A lot of
Yeah.
Sally, a few moments ago you spoke about guides, and anytime I bring up the fact that you could possibly be my guide, you vehemently object to that thought. Why is it so outlandish that you could
No,
be my
it's
guide?
not outlandish, but I never like to put myself, especially in a relationship too, way above where I'm,
Well, you do that to me at home anyway.
Well, I do that. But then I used to say the thing to Aldo, and he always used to say to me, I know, but you even know more. I mean, that's ridiculous, because he obviously knew a lot more. But it's not about an ego thing, Steve. I'm not better than you or you or you. I'm here to be Aldo. Aldo's telling me, be my mouthpiece, because I've learned over the years to accept so much more that a lot of people will not accept today. So I'm here basically as a teacher, and that's the best way to put it. I'm a teacher. So by example, I can show people what we're doing. But we're just at different parts of our journey. No one is better than anyone else, actually, because we all come in the way we do and we all leave. But it's a process. But the only thing I will say, and to anybody, it can happen, but it takes understanding. And that understanding can take a while, it can take a lifetime, it can take many lifetimes, but you have to put in the effort. You have to. You agree with me with that?
100%.
Absolutely have to. It's not going to suddenly open up and everything is like, oh my God, this is great. You have to work at that. So,
You know, you said you have to put forth the effort. And earlier today in the midday show, I was listening in the car. I heard you guys saying, got to do the work. And Freddie was saying people don't want to do the work. But what I've experienced or seen is, something will happen. You'll get, it'll make sense to you. Then you're given the opportunity
Right.
to apply that.
Yeah.
So you have the idea, and then all of a sudden an experience shows up to apply it, and then either you do or you don't. And if you don't, then you'll have to learn it again even harder.
and it's entirely up to us, because we have free will. But it's not that these situations aren't there. They're all there. They're there for everybody. It's what we do with it. And if you're only part of the journey and you don't want to, that's fine too. It's not that you're not going to get the opportunities. We all have the opportunities. It's what we do with that opportunity. And that opportunity will present itself to everybody. It's where we are on our journey. I have chosen that this is my life. I mean, I'm here as a human, obviously, and I have to tune in again to the news and everything. But my whole life from here on in too is to understand more, because I love it. I'm doing it because I love it.
And why don't we understand more after the break?
Okay, yes, absolutely. See
A
you
true
back on
story,
the other
Call Me Zena, is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came into the U.S. in 1979. A mother of 2 and a grandmother of 4, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the 3rd dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest into art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed a paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail on how she is able to astral a project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life and direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today, authorhouse.com and amazon.com.
What if your soul could speak? On Call Me Zena with Sally Barnard, we explore the whispers of past lives, soul connections, and the spiritual memories that may be guiding your journey today.
I'm talking to people maybe that are on a higher dimension.
Have a question about your experiences? Call into the show live at 888-899-44995, Studio A, and share your story as we dive deeper into the mysteries of the soul together. Want to continue the journey beyond the airwaves? Purchase Sally's book, Call Me Zena, available now on Amazon and Author House, and uncover even more insight into soul remembrance and connection. Join Sally every Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all Soical media platforms for an inspiring, intuitive, and soul awakening experience. Call in, tune in, awaken what your soul already knows.
Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Barnard, and you can find my book at authorhouse and amazon.com or visit my art on my clothing in my boutique at artbysallybarnard.com. Now back to the show.
And we are back. Sally is joined today with, I was going to say Sally Barnard, with Dana Sardano of the Ubuntu Room. And they're diving deep, I think, in the next 30 minutes to see what the guides, the collective, have to say.
All
All right, let's see, Sally.
And I know you'd ask me, anything is fine, Dana, and if we need to go a little deeper or I need to get out of a little bit of the zone that I usually am in, I'm fine with that. I mean, I rely on my guides, I rely on Aldo, I have the collective and they help me. I don't actually get the names. I can get the names if I ask. I just never ask.
Yeah, well, we're going to ask.
Okay.
Because I got to know things. So talk about the collective. There's this, it's a collective consciousness. But we were also talking about the ETs. And clearly, you were one of those volunteers. We're like dancing around it, right? Oh, yeah, some of those volunteer people, and what are they like? But I want to know, do you know what star system you are here from?
I've been from many, but let's say the closest one to where I am right now on Earth was the Palladians. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
Yeah.
And do you connect? You say Aldo is your gatekeeper, but do you ever connect with them directly? Like, do you know when you're connecting with them?
That's interesting because I think they're helping me all the time, plus Aldo too. I have been on Earth, I will say this, and I do know this, many, many, many lifetimes. If I want, they call people an old soul. Of course, that had many meanings, but I think I am an old soul on Earth. I've been here many lifetimes.
Yeah.
So yes, they collect. Originally, I mean, we're all from somewhere else.
I get that.
But the closest one to the long time that I have been, if this makes sense, and that's another person, he'll always say that this makes sense, in this Earth lifetimes that I've had was the Palladians before that.
And I get that. And the Palladians, it's my understanding, if you're from there and you've been coming here lifetime after lifetime, I would think your mission has likely been similar each time, maybe different lives, but to enhance the evolution.
They're saying on the grand
process.
scale, they're actually using those words, yes, because I've come in, and I know this from Aldo too, because he knew a lot of my lifetimes that I had actually had with him, but one in particular where I was a prominent figure in that particular lifetime. I came in, I had so much responsibility, Dana, which I now know because I'm understanding it more, that for the last 2 lifetimes that I've had on Earth, it was dormant. It never left me, but I come back into this lifetime with the knowing that I knew from that prominent one. So it all rushed back to me because I was drawing. I never painted, but I'm drawing from that particular lifetime of the family that I had, of the buildings that I had from that life, describing and looking on the internet at that time because I wasn't aware of it, of some of my art pieces. So our lifetimes don't leave us. Our personality, I believe, stays the same too. But what happens is we can't tune into every lifetime. I mean, we'd be going crazy. But the ones where we've learned that are going to help us in this lifetime will come back when we're ready. Mine came back.
Your Pleiadian guides, can we connect with them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm getting someone. Oh my God! Now I'm doing.
Just let it flow. Who's here?
Atario.
Does Atario, anybody else?
No, it's part of a collective.
Okay.
With the Palladians.
Do your Pleiadian guides, do we share guides at all?
Yes, we all, yes we do. Yes we do.
And
He's absolutely here. I just want to say this because Aldo is telling me it's okay, go ahead with this. Go ahead with it, it's okay. He's stepped aside. I'm getting a feeling of a tremendous emotion here. Okay, go ahead.
So Otario, you said?
Otario.
So Otario, you are you? Oh, it's a collective Otario, like Abraham.
Yeah.
Okay. What can you tell us? What is your greatest piece of advice that you could share with us to assist in the collective evolution?
Share your message. Anybody, they're absolutely all telling me, share this message, share what we know. Begin to wake the people up. It's so important. We're rooting for you. That's exactly what he's saying. We're all there. We're helping. We're watching. It's so important now. Now is the time to do what we're doing. Absolutely.
And we feel it. Those of us who are on a mission to do this, we feel now is the time.
Absolutely, 100%. And we're there with us. You can't forget all the things that we know. We're up against a lot. This is not a message of doom, but it could go either way. This is really important to know that. That's why it's so important. Spread the word for any of us, for people listening on this show. Begin to understand. Look at synchronicities, which we were talking about. They're rooting for us. Just know that we have backup here. We have backup. It's so important to understand that.
So I have a question specifically for those who understand that they have a mission. And I want to speak to Otario. There are many of us that have felt invisible, that have felt like we've been doing the work, we want to bring it to the masses, and there's been either a block or a misalignment, or it hasn't been getting out there. And we have a collective understanding that now is the time. Yeah. Are you and other light beings assisting us in getting out there?
101%. They're behind us. Yes, we have distractions along the way. Let's call them distractions.
Okay.
They don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
Because the control that they have, which you know, is not going to be there. Because if we start to fight that in our own way, they're losing control. We have been controlled for so long, for centuries. And I, as Sally, haven't wanted to bring this up, and they're telling me that. But you know what? It's okay. We've got to break the pattern. We've got to break it.
So here's another question that I have, and you know what? I'm a little invested in the answer to this personally, but I'm asking for others like me. Social media is a bit of a cesspool. Mm-hmm. And I've always joked that, people are farting in cups and going viral, and we have these messages to share and they're not going anywhere. So if now is the time, I don't want to say what are they doing, the Otarios of the world, right? What are they doing to assist us? But I guess the question is, do people like us that have a message need social media? Or is it just a way that we don't understand that it's going to be shared?
There's a yes and no to that question. Okay. Social media does get out to the masses. But remember, and this is really important, a lot of what we see on social media is ridiculous, especially today with AI. AI, they can print and do anything. Even the news is okay compared to what they can do.
Right. The news is honest compared to...
compared to... People are putting pictures up. They're doing all these things. It's all been planned. We've gotten so addicted to this.
Yes.
So if the message that I can give you is take it as a grain of salt. If that's what you want to do as literally a pastime, do it. But it's not beneficial in any way whatsoever, because we really don't know what's true.
I get that.
So the truth is not able to come through that well because we don't know.
Beneficial. I mean, today you came up with a message. Somebody said that Netanyahu was killed.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm coming back a little bit. Yes, absolutely. We cannot rely on social media. AI is basically taking us over here.
So my question to Otario and others is, we know that there is a bit of a spiritual warfare, right? This has been going on for forever, but
Correct.
now it's really, again, we just said the birthing thing, and I don't have to rehash that. My question is, for those people who have a mission to assist others, those who are waking up that maybe aren't of the same vibration, they're coming together now. They're converging. They're meeting.
Right.
And they're rising together. Do you have any advice for us or them?
Do research is good. Look at research that you trust. Ask questions of people that you trust to gain more knowing, because how are they going to get my programs like this? I always recommend Gaia TV because there is so much on Gaia TV that people can get more understanding.
Oh, so you're telling the people, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to
That's
make sure I
okay.
understand the answer. So you're telling the people, do your research.
Yes,
Okay.
but don't get it from social media.
No.
Get it from other main, Gaia is very good if you want to listen to a certain topic.
Okay.
Just trust yourself. Trust your in saying your in being. That makes sense. But trust your in being, because we're not going. Once you open up, you're not going to lead yourself down the wrong path. If you're aware that there's a wrong path, that's very important. Be aware that you can go down another channel here. You can go the wrong way. Be very aware of what you're doing. Pass your message on. Do research that you trust. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Do research that you trust of things. We don't want to go the wrong way here. We hear everybody's interest is in the planet.
Yes.
Let's destroy. And this is not a message of doom. They just have to wake more people up, and this is how they're doing it. We will get help. We will have disclosure. We've been disclosing they have been for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But the real disclosure will come from a higher power, not a higher person, they're saying, of an entity that people will, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to go here, but that's, they're saying, go ahead, of people that we may not even trust, but the disclosure will be there. The disclosure is coming from higher up, of names of who we know.
You're talking government.
Yes. But we got to be very careful here too, because government is split, and this is all a game. I can go deeper. Maybe I'm going to say let's go and do another show on this, Dina. But
I'm with you. I got you. You got a lot
so
going
that
on.
we know that we're not stepping over the line here. There is so much more that we can talk about, but disclosure is coming. Disclosure is
It's
coming.
soon.
Soon.
Yeah,
It has
like
to be.
yesterday.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It has to be. I'm going to ask you to bring me out a little bit, because I think we need first to censor some of the things, if that makes sense, of what he's wanting to tell me. Not censor the message, but how deep we go into this. But it is important.
Okay, so Otario's good. We're going to say
Yeah.
thank you, Otario.
Yeah.
Aldo, welcome
Well,
back.
He's here. He's protected me all along, and I think whatever I just said, he was there to do that right now.
Yeah. Put the.
Oh my
So
God.
to wrap up a little bit of what just happened,
Okay.
there have been many times
I'm
that
still in a trance, but
Okay.
not like.
there have been many times where I've asked you about the collective and who's in it, and and that never happened during my questioning of you. Tario never came out, and nothing. You kind of put it to the side. So I'm glad that Dana was able to,
Being that
dive
I'm
deeper.
still in a trance, but not as deep as that, I will forget the names. I sometimes do, but I'm aware now because I'm bringing myself back.
But I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right? Because when you step into another collective in another space, I want to make sure you, as
Thank
Sally,
you.
as this human being,
I'm fine.
you feel okay
Yeah,
and where you're
I'm
at.
fine. Yeah.
when
I'm
that
fine.
happened, I looked at Dawn. I said, "That's different."
I don't remember. I mean, I'm still there, but I feel different. I'm fine.
But that energy that you just channeled, if it's of the Pleiadians, it's of a higher
It's
vibration.
a higher vibration. Yeah,
So-
that I'm coming back to the state that I'm usually with Aldo right now. Nothing will ever, just so you guys know too, and I'm still there, will ever happen to me. I can absolutely assure you that. Aldo is telling me to tell you that. he's going, I got you covered.
And that was a
it's
very
making me
exciting
wanna
moment for
cry.
all of us, I think.
He's got me covered. He will never let anybody in. And this is good that I'm doing it still in the trance that I am, that will affect me in any way. Yeah, he'll say, you want your chocolate after. Well, I can't have the chocolate. My energy will be depleted a little. But he will never, ever, and this is coming from him, whether I remember this or not, ever let anything happen to me.
Have you ever felt an energy shift like you just had before?
No, but I can feel my neck hurting.
So I was going to ask you, does it feel different that you remember?
Yes.
Do you feel as you were giving the messages, it was a different sense of being?
Yes, I can't tell you exactly what I talked about, but I can tell you a little bit. After the show, I won't remember any of it probably until I see it. But I was taken, which I wanted to. In fact, I asked for that, and I said I need to go into a higher state. I believe that happened, right? So none of this is all, although I didn't plan it, or even you, Dana, they planned it.
Yeah,
so that's
for
what
sure.
I want to say.
For sure. I
They
thought we were
planned
going
it.
somewhere else.
Yes,
And we
no,
went fully
they
tea.
totally, and I have to say that now because when I come out, it may not be as real as what I'm saying now because I'm putting my mind to it. My mind is still there. Every single thing that was said was planned, everything, so that you guys know that.
So how different was this moment from the moment where I walked in on you, being paralyzed?
Very similar, very similar. See, I was in the middle of some sort of abduction, and Steve came in. He kind of woke me up because he was worried. So I woke up, but I was still unable to
Like a
talk. I was
paralysis.
totally. You saw more. I couldn't speak, couldn't talk. The feeling was very similar to that, very similar, because I was in a higher state of being at that time that you walked in, as I was, I think, a few minutes ago.
Now, did you see Arturo and what he looked like?
No.
So it was a sound.
I felt it was a sound.
Now, when you channel what you channel, and I know you paint, do you see them like Anne-Marie up there?
No, for me, I've talked about this before. My greatest strength is my clairsentience. So everything I just feel with my body, everything. And I get like impression. You know what I mean? Like you kind of like, like when you have a memory and you like kind of see it, but you don't see it. That's kind of how I work.
It's similar, actually, because I've never really discussed exactly how it happens because I've never I just know it happens. But it's a feeling. I got that feeling totally different to what I get where I am right now because I'm still there, but it's a much lighter feeling.
That's the higher frequency,
yes.
And that's why I was asking.
Yes.
You're reassuring them that you're okay.
I'm fine.
And in my head, I'm like, this is a higher frequency, and what's going to happen, I think, is you're going to take this experience. It's now integrated as a part of you, and your frequency is going to elevate your baseline as a result of this. So I'm super excited. Long time. Would you be interested in doing this again with me sometime?
Absolutely, I would love to do that because I'm on my journey just like everybody else, and we get to a certain platter, which it's not even comfortability because I don't mind doing other things, but I feel that I want to which I told you the other day, I don't mind pushing myself a little further because I am protected, and that's the most important thing to know. Wherever I go is not coincidence, it's where I'm meant to be going. So that's what's very, very important.
That is important because
important.
over the past 3 years that you've been doing this, I've attended and co-hosted with you and sat and asked questions and everything. But this moment that we had here today was probably your greatest moment on the show.
See, I have to look at that because I don't remember. I mean, I really don't. I'm still in I call it a semi-trance, and I think that is the correct words for what I'm doing because I'm much more aware, although I still don't remember the show that well. I have no memory, of what just happened.
Well, for those of us around you at that moment, we were, besides a little worried for you, we were just, I can't even put it into words.
Okay, so I know I'm going to have to.
But what was fascinating for me is that you were still consciously able to not say things that you felt as Sally Barnard felt that the world was not ready to hear that. So as deep as you were and at another level as you were, you still stepped back and said, let's continue this later because I need to disseminate it clearly.
And that's
Well,
why
they were putting
Aldo's
the hook
coming.
on you. Wasn't that Aldo?
Yes, I'm feeling he's telling me
which
that
was
was me, that
fascinating
was him.
to see that.
Because I'm still feeling him very much. He's overriding this whole conversation at this level. But he wasn't even sure, and he's telling me this too, that I could go into that, but he knows that I can. So whatever we did, and he's telling me and giving me the permission to go higher, as if he was sitting here right now, because he overrided that. Aldo is high beyond that too, because just like he was here on Earth, much higher than anybody, although he never walked around saying that were the things he could do, he has transitioned onto a very higher level of vibrational energy. So it's like he's above all that, kind of listening and watching and overriding it, which we would say observing what we're doing. So he would never, he's telling me to tell you this because he's still here, let me ever do something that would be detrimental to me in any way whatsoever. I have a little pain here, but that's not unusual because I get a lot of what Steve gets.
That was pretty amazing to see that. And it reminds me of when we had the show that Anne-Marie said there's the light, the intellectuals, and then there's the love of the angelic realm and the balance. So here you see the two, and I'm getting the goosebumps as I say it.
Too, and I
the two of the balance coming together. It's not a push-pull. It's more of a collective, all right, we will jointly agree to agree and stop at this point, which I think, and maybe you've seen this before, but to see the two entities come together, Aldo and Artario, and have this conversation.
Crazy. The lightness that I'm feeling right now is very different because I get the feeling of when I was whatever I was doing, but it was more of a, it's like everything is so much lighter at night right now.
Do you feel like there's the leash was taken off of
Yeah.
you? That you have the ability now to go further
Yeah,
and deeper?
and it's affecting in a good way my physicality here. It's like I feel like it's similar to floating. I feel like now, because I'm still there and Aldo is watching, obviously, and will be to the end of the show here, I feel like I'm floating. When I got to wherever I was, it was a completely, absolutely, now I don't remember what I was talking about that much, but I remember the feeling was so much different to what I'm feeling right now.
Because the Pleiadian vibration is
Yeah.
of that is that higher frequency. And I am of the belief that a lot of our guides, especially again Pleiadian, Arcturian, whatever extraterrestrial, are aspects of us because we are multidimensional.
100%.
So you have reconnected with a version of yourself.
And that also goes into the fact it doesn't mean because I'm sitting here, I'm not there.
Yeah, 100%.
So 100% that just because this is my environment, and any of us, we just don't know about the other environments.
Yeah.
And so right now, if I go into what I'm doing, and anybody that does this type of work can be somewhere else.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the people sitting around are going to even know that. But the person that's doing that, we can call it the channeling too of somebody because we're talking to somebody that's in that dimension.
Yes.
So we've traveled there.
And lives as well. So
Yes,
if
absolutely.
I would say my past life. No, it's my concurrent life.
Exactly.
That is it
Because
gets
it's all
really
happening at the same
at the same
time.
time.
And
Exactly.
what I'm really looking forward to,
Yeah, this is really good.
This is what two crazy people sound like when they get together.
what I'm really looking forward to is later tonight, instead of watching silly American Idol, is playing the show back and getting to that moment where you had this experience and see what your reaction will be.
That's the beauty of it being recorded because very often, I don't. You're not necessarily aware because I haven't mentioned it, but I don't even remember this show.
Oh, I get that.
remember
I get
parts
that.
of it, and as soon as I see it, I remember it.
Of course,
But I
it would
think
not surprise me if those 3 minutes have been eliminated from the show.
No, this is, I think, the beginning of a very...
Yeah, and I want to thank you, Dana, because I knew that I was going, and Aldo too, now that I have him totally with me right now, wants to thank you because you brought me, I'm going to say, a comfort level. I've never minded stepping out of my comfort level. And I've enjoyed every show that I've done here, and I've had two wonderful hosts, both Freddie and Dawn, and the questions, and we'll continue to do that. But I think that because of the world that is the way that it is now, I needed to go a little bit more into some of the things that people are maybe just for the message of this.
Well, that's
right?
what we're all doing.
Right,
That's
right,
why,
right.
and Anne Marie, or they through Anne Marie, used the word convergence.
Yes.
This is now a
Right,
convergence,
right.
that all of the people with our own skill set, our own gifts, our own mission, because again, it's the same, but we all have our own stake,
And
and we're coming together.
To explain it, even for myself too, had I have not, and this has been a wonderful process with the 3 years that I've done here, for anybody that's on this journey, there's steps to go to. Had I have not had the experience, or even Alda behind me, you can't suddenly go from here to doing that.
You can't skip steps.
No, you cannot skip
You
one
cannot
step.
skip steps.
That's what they're telling me. So all the work that I've done up to this point has been so worthwhile. But now it's like you take another step, a leap in faith, that's what they're saying, to get to the next step. I couldn't have done this 3.5 years ago.
No.
I had to get to where I am. I've done a certain amount, Marita, if you're listening, and I've done quite a bit with her too, where she's taken me a little bit further, but not on the air. So this was really good. And Aldo is thanking you, and he obviously thanks Dawn and Freddie, who is very quiet over there. Aldo is saying thank you, Freddie, for bringing me this far, okay?
He's
And
like,
not
okay.
to forget Steve, who's starting his journey, who does listen to me occasionally about this.
Well, I have to tell you, Sally, I have to thank you, because I really was looking forward to having this conversation with you. And my concern, and I even spoke to Rob about this, was I didn't ever want to put you on the spot, do something that you were uncomfortable. So I think it's pretty brave, to do what you do. To let the crazy out, and I call it the crazy because it could be perceived that way, but to let the crazy out, to do it on the air, to do it so openly and honestly, and then to try new things. So I'm really excited for you.
It's authentic. It comes from the heart, and that heart is what it's all about. You can't make these things up, Dana. There is no way, and I'm telling you that for people to have an open mind. You can't make the synchronicities up.
No.
They're there. You just try to remember, as the audience is still listening, a lot of these things that lead you on your beginning of your journey. How often do we say, you couldn't make this up, the
Nope.
things that happen?
Impossible.
You can't, right? It's impossible. So it happens, and it's happening to everybody. It's not just our show here. There are many shows going on like this that go deeper into these things.
And for the same reason we couldn't make this up, it's the same reason why Spielberg couldn't make up what he put in his movies and other, creative works.
There's a higher force leading us to that, and I believe that now, I'm getting to the end of the show, but now is the time to bring all this out in the open.
Yeah.
So what if people don't believe it? I've been talking about being abducted now for 20-something years. When I first talked about it, I thought I was crazy. Yeah, I was abducted many times now that I know more about it. I didn't understand it. I was putting it down on paper, but I don't care openly now, saying,
Now
you
is the
saw me.
time.
You saw me.
But
now.
Dana's energy, who she is, and who surrounds her, as you said when she came in, clearly is connected with you
Yeah.
and Anne Marie, because you have the gift to get her to that next level. Somebody else might have sat in that chair and not been able to get her there. So the
I
cross,
totally agree with that.
the connection of what this is,
And I knew that.
had to come from you and your beings of light, connecting with Sally's soul family, and however all of that is working together.
And think about this. Where did this all happen? In the studio,
Right.
I mean, without this studio, we wouldn't have met. This is like a portal or something here.
As they say in Ghostbusters,
It's
you don't
amazing.
cross the streams. I think.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
But here's the thing also, we all, again, I used to call it back in the gallery days, like the Justice League, right? We all have our individual strengths, and when we come together, it is to elevate one another. And sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks like that. And I understand what my gift is. And again, I'm the educator, like that's the activator. And that's always kind of been my thing. I told you, I don't do anything magical. I don't do, but I have that. So when you asked if I would sit down with you, I was super excited because I knew this would happen. And I'm really looking forward to more of this.
It's a knowing.
Because I got a whole list of people I
that's-
want to talk to now that I know you.
Okay, and Aldo's going,
I got a book.
okay.
I
if you
got a
look at
book
the
with
clock-
names.
yeah,
I got people I want to talk to.
I think it's that end of the the show right now, right? Yeah, I've got 45 seconds.
wrap it up, Sally.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you very
Make sure
much.
that
Dana.
if you're interested, you can get a copy of Sally's book, Call Me Zena, on Amazon or Author House. Just scan the QR code on the screen. And thank you, Sally, and thank you, Dana, for a great show.
Thank our listeners. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you. See you this time next week. Who knows what's going to happen on the next show?
Yeah. Where the Tesla shows
We've
up.
done that leap, right? Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you can always seek me out for resources by visiting artbysallybarnard.com. Join us next week, Mondays at 2:30. Have a blessed day.